Hey everybody, welcome to Cat's Creations live on Friday night. Steve's back! He just flew in this morning. His arms are really tired, so he's going to be sitting this one out and reading all my comments for me. So today, we are making an everyday wreath. Why? In the middle of Christmas, are we doing everyday? Because a lot of people want to buy wreaths for gifts, and not necessarily a Christmas wreath. Maybe it's something that they want to gift to somebody to put on their door in the spring, or every day, or just to add to their home decor. And the one thing that I noticed while I was going through my shop is I don't really have an awful lot of everyday. Everything is themed. So I'm going to be doing a lot of everyday wreaths because these can sell throughout the year. It's great at this time of the year because people can purchase them for gifts, to be used in the spring once winter comes and goes. So we're going to be making an oval wreath and using the sign that says coffee and friends are the perfect blend. Is that what it says, Steve?
Coffee and friends make the perfect blend.
Yeah, I don't want to ruin his setup here. So we're going to be using Grapevine. We're going to use a lot of Greenery. We're going to use a lot of purple, lavender, and like mauve roses. We're going to use some Ranunculus, some Freesia, some lavender. So a whole variety of different purple shades of florals, because I think that those, I've had this picture sitting in my Facebook page forever that I was going to do it, and I'm like, you know what? Today, this is what we're making. So do we have anyone joining us?
Yeah, we have Mary, Sharon, Jean, Audrey, Melody, Evie, Sandra, Felicia, Brenda, Wilhelmine, Pam, Brenda, and that's all I see so far.
Okay. So
hi, gals.
I already took the time and I already what do you want to call it? Decluttered this oval, and it took me, I would say, a good hour, if not an hour and a half, to go through this one. It was extremely filled with pine needles and leaves and all kinds of stuff. I'll post before and after pictures. It's kind of crazy when you look at, there was a debris pile that's probably the diameter of the inside of this wreath from what I actually pulled out of the wreath. So you need to take the time to declutter everything because it leaves for a better quality product when the customer gets it. When it's in transit in the box, you're not going to have a lot of debris in the box because you've already taken most of it out. Granted, there's still going to be some stuff that eventually just works its way out that you can't get out. So that's what we're going to do. So the first thing we're going to do, this wreath is a 20-inch oval, so 20 inches long, 15 inches wide. I think right now it's about 2 inches in height. And of course, once we add our sign, our bow, and our florals, it's probably going to go to 5.5 inches full. We'll probably add about 3 inches to the diameter, both this way and that way. So we're going to go ahead and start with our grapevine.
Melody said, for some reason I can't get my oval wreaths to look good. Probably because you're maybe not cleaning them out as well.
Well, the question would be, is it just the florals itself, Melody, or is it just trying to get everything picked out of there and cleaned out of there? It does take a lot of time. I mean, I think I was telling Steve, it's just crazy the amount of stuff that you will pull out of a grapevine, and just the smell of the earth and the soil in that wreath. It's like, wow. If we could, I would take this, throw it in the washing machine, wash it, dry it, and bring it out, and then we know it's all clean. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take ficus leaves. So you can get these at Hobby Lobby. These are, I want to say they're $1.99 each. So if you go in when their floral is 50% off, which is every other week, I don't know what it'll be this week, but you can always, these are great to stock up on because when you get them at half off, they're only $1 each. And if you get the kind with the pattern in the leaves, They have ones that are just blah, and then there's ones where you can actually see the veins in the leaves. Go for the vein ones, because those look nicer.
Oh, Wilhelmine said she cleaned one like that out today.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just was like, ugh, not happy. So, same thing. I'm going to put my bow on here. So I'm going to pretty much work probably right up to this particular branch. I'm going to try to come down here just a little bit past this point. I still like the grapevine to be seen so that people can see that it's a grapevine. It's not an evergreen or it's not a decomesh. So I'm going to start by laying in a simple base. I always start my grapevines by the base color. So if we're going to do, it's going to kind of look kind of springish. So we're going to do the ficus branches. So I'm just going to be really bold. Normally sometimes I'll sit here and just kind of pick this all out. But I'm just going to do what I would do if I was here alone by myself. So I'm going to break some of these down because I like to do it in smaller pieces. And we're going to add this one right in here. So there's going to be quite a bit of greenery laid in. And that will help us, number one, to not have to use so much of our floral to kind of cover the grapevine. We'll come in here and we'll add a little piece here. So I'm just going to build the base with the ficus leaves first. Trying to look for some different colors. So let's pick this one off. There we go. Pick.
Daisy actually said she power washes hers.
Really?
Yeah.
How does that work really good? Because I would be really afraid to power wash anything.
Does that really get the pine needles and leaves out?
I'd be afraid I would like have nothing left. I'd be standing there holding like the biggest part of my branch and the rest of it's like all on the ground. That's just me. I'm not too like, I wonder how that would work. I mean, if you're doing it and it works, then that's a good thing.
Hi Karen, hi Gail's just joining.
So let's go ahead and kind of lay in some more ficus leaves. So the things that you're going to want to have handy as far as tools, besides wire cutters, scissors, you're going to want to get some floral wire. I prefer the thicker when you're using the grapevine because it's just easier for you to see, it's easier for you to pull. So I think mine is 22 gauge. So that is for when you go to glue something in place and it doesn't really want to stay where you want it to go, like this one. You can force it into compliance with floral wire. You can make it stay where you want it to go. So we'll do this. Wish the stuff wasn't so stringy. I wish that when I dipped it in my glue pot, it would just kind of stay. Like I always try to pull some of the edge of the glue threads off, but no, pops back up. So you guys still making Christmas? I'm all done with Christmas. Isn't that sad? I sat here looking at designs and signs that I wanted to do and never really got around to doing.
They just said she cures it to 2 poles.
Okay.
And then she lets the pressure of the water do the work with thin nozzles. So interesting. You'll have to send us some before and after photos, Daisy.
I'd love to see that. You could do a live on that. How to power wash a grapevine. Won't that go viral on YouTube? I could see that being a viral YouTube video.
She said just let it dry and it's done.
Wow.
Pamela said I've never made a grapevine wreath.
You should. They're so much fun. I love making them. Because it's kind of like having an open weave and you can put in there whatever you want to go in. So I'm just kind of laying this in, kind of looking at this. So let's, before I add any more ficus, let's add our fern. So I cut all my fern down off of this big fern pick that came from Hobby Lobby, because it's even got the little brown curlicues in here. So it's like kind of their forest stuff. And I bent it in like weird shapes to kind of give it some movement. So let me pull this one off the end. I don't want the very, very end. And I'm just going to start pushing these in, just to give our florals, so you can see how crazy some of my patterns are. We'll do this one down here. I hate pulling the little ones off, but I need to, so that go back in the glue pot. There we go. And I'm trying to keep it off. So we'll go back in here.
Katie, the sign is from Hobby Lobby.
Hobby Lobby. Is that your
Hobby Lobby.
Hobby Lobby? Yes.
Yeah.
Hobby Lobby is where I got it. I've had this sign since like spring of this year. And you can tell, obviously I have not used it. I did not use it in the spring like I had thought. I think I just moved through Easter and I was like, okay, we're done. Kind of looking at how
I don't know
I
why
have
I
these.
said Hobby Lobby in an English accent.
Why?
I don't know why I did that.
Oh, I don't know. Okay, so I want, let me just swish this. The nice thing about the fern is it's got wire all the way down. So I gotta pull my little ones off the end, otherwise they get all stuck in the glue and it doesn't really go.
Hey
Right.
Sheila, hope you're feeling better.
I know, girl. She's like, well, I'm resting. I'm not working. I'm not doing lives. So she's taking it easy.
She's all, the cameraman is back. She put you right back to work.
Yes, I did.
Yes, she did. I volunteered.
But I gave him M&Ms, so he's sitting there eating M&Ms. Let's be honest.
Yep.
That's why he's there.
No guarantee I won't fall asleep in my seat though.
Yeah, you'll be fine. I have that utmost confidence in you. So
I remember talking to me last night. I was up past midnight.
you were?
Yep.
Oh, that's true. Yes, you were. I was talking to him kind of late last night. I was like, you know what time it is out there, right?
And I was up at 5.
Let's go ahead and add that one to the underside. I like them to kind of curve in and then curve out. So this one's going to go in here.
Oh, Sheila said I can't talk, so I'm watching you.
Oh, poor thing. Hot tea, girl.
Hot tea with honey and lemon.
No, just take lemon. This is my cure-all recipe. It's actually an Amish recipe. If you take lemon.
We don't have any in the fridge.
What?
The jar of honey and lemon. I don't think we do.
Yes, I do. Look. This is my almond recipe. So you take lemons, slice lemons up, fill an entire mason jar full of like lemons. I put them like, I slice them in half and then do them in quarters, and then take organic honey or any honey, pour it all over the top of your lemons, and then boil hot water and take 2 tablespoons of this mixture and pour it into hot water, stir it and drink it. It's like hot lemonade.
But you had like 2 or 3 lemon slices too, right?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we always keep it on hand, because that's like the minute you start to feel that tickle come, we're like, gotta break out the, and I think it lasts for 6 months in the fridge before you have to switch it out. So I just do 2 lemons, and then you have a really good natural
Yeah.
herbal blend. So I'm gonna do
She
this
says,
one.
yep, I have chamomile.
Oh, chamomile tea. That's like good night tea.
Sheila said, "Oh, thank you, Kat. I'll do that. I have organic honey."
There
Yeah,
you
we
go.
love it.
It really does taste just like hot lemonade. So no tea, just the water, the lemons, and the honey
3
mixture.
tablespoons of the mixture.
Because it'll start to take the honey and turn it into a liquid, which just makes it so good. Can't promise you guys won't get addicted to it, because we drink it just for. So I'm going to take this one.
Donna said, "I've been working on glitter ornaments, and my husband said, no more glitter. It's taking over the house."
I know what that's like. Somebody asked me a question. They're like, how do you clean up glitter? I'm like, once you start with glitter, it's just going to be a part of your home forever.
You have to vacuum, vacuum, vacuum.
Yeah. But you think, okay, once you get through Christmas, that all goes away? No. Then there's Valentine's Day, because you have all the glittery hearts. And then it moves into Easter with glittery Easter eggs. So it's just going to be a part of your home decor. Granted, it gets less and less. You notice it less. So I'm pretty happy with the way this is. I might take a couple. I want some to kind of feather towards the end, and I really hate to use a whole piece just to get a feathered edge. But maybe I'll just take this one and kind of tuck it underneath here. Trying to get it. Huh?
Use some floral wire?
No, I'll glue it. It should stay. There's nothing in the way. Right there. There's just a giant hole in there. So this way I can kind of feather that to kind of come down. This one's going to go up. So there's my feathered edge there. Do I really want to take it and do it here too? It's just such, you could take half of it and do half, but because I always like to have more
Jenny said she loves working on grapevines. That's awesome, Jenny.
Like, grapevines are so much fun. People find them so intimidating. That's what I meant to say. But they're really not.
Mary said this will be very pretty.
We're hoping. I like using a lot of lavender, like the lavender flowers, the lavender freesia, lavender. I want to add a couple pieces of the Lavender, but I think I'm going to wait until I get my florals in. And then where I need to add a little touch here and there, I'm going to use the Lavender because it's a little softer. It's the fuzzy, like whitish florals or greenery that you're going to find. And Lavender are perfect when you're trying to go something super soft and not bold and dark. So let me tuck that one piece of greenery right here. Just make sure it doesn't go outside where I want it to go. So I'm just going to take my floral wire because I've got those really big, nice branches, and I can take my floral wire and just kind of keep those pieces in place. Okay, now we're good. So now what I always tell you to do, see here's, we still have space for our florals or a bow, is find your focal flower. Find the one centerpiece flower. It's going to be the largest thing that you incorporated onto your grapevine, and you want it, you want to do those first. So you're going to start big, and then you're going to work your way down in your florals as far as size. So my focal point flowers for this are these pink roses. So I'm going to do 2 to the top, and then we're going to put 1 to the bottom. So these are my main.
No, I actually thought you were going to use the purple.
Guess again. Nope.
Sheila says I take a sticky lint roller and clean up glitter. The paper ones that you just tear off when it's no longer sticky. That's a good tip.
That is a really good tip. So I'm just gonna slide this into my glue pot. Kind of happy where I had it, which is kind of up here. And then I'm just gonna slide it into my grapevine, which is another reason why we clean our grapevines out. And then we're gonna do the same with these two. We are going to stagger them. So we'll probably have one. I'm kind of looking at where it can go. Might have to cut it down a bit, so we don't have to work so much of it down into the grapevine. But we're probably gonna put one here, turn it towards the center, and then we'll do another one. Let's just cut it down.
Vicky Scantlin, Scatlin said, hi from Tucson. I have watched you on YouTube many times, but this is the first time I caught you live, so welcome.
Thanks for joining us.
Welcome, Vicky.
So I think I'm going to leave those there because I want the meatier part of my florals closer to the bow, and then as it fans out, size-wise start to go down. So let me go ahead and add this one first. We have quite a few people, and she says she's from Arizona, right, babe?
Mm-hmm.
We have quite a few people in our group from Arizona.
Yeah, and hi gals just joining. Don't worry about apologizing for being late, because that's just life.
It is.
Working and getting home and kids and...
Yeah, all we've done is laid down our greenery. So we just did a ficus and a fern base, but you can catch that. Did I glue that in? I don't feel like I did. Yes, I did. Oh my word, how did I not know that? Okay,
Quick
so
McGraw.
those are my focal points. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take, I had all these things cut down, I just cut them all down. We're gonna take some of the mauve colored roses, a little bit smaller. We're gonna add, I had it, I'm looking at these ones. These are a little too big for me. That's way too big. Let's see. I think we're gonna add one here. We'll probably add one right in here. I think that'll work. And then I'll come back in and add some white ranunculus. It's like a cream colored. So I'll show you. So we'll take these mauve colored ones. Trying to not get glue on the outside. So we'll add that one there. We'll cut this one down. I think this one's going to go a little bit more towards the outside, like that.
Kathy said, I've learned so much about florals from you.
Oh, well, thanks. I've learned florals. Just seriously, Hobby Lobby. Going to Hobby Lobby and looking in the containers, because the containers will tell you what kind of flowers those are. So these are ranunculus. To me, they look like roses that a bug has eaten the buds completely off, so they're like flat, but they're super pretty. You'll see these a lot in wedding bouquets. So I'm going to bring one of these.
Brenda said lavender and purple are her favorite colors. Brenda Brewer.
I love lavender too. So we're going to add some ranunculus up here. And then we're going to do the same. Let me look at how this is coming. We're going to add one down here, but I actually wanted this one. The one that has a little baby bud on it. So, trying to look and see which way do I want it to lay. I might not want it where it was. And then this one, I think we'll bring up. There we go. And we'll do something like this. So we're gonna have, if you're going up, like for me, I always go heavier on top and then a little lighter on the bottom. So I'm gonna go ahead and add these right where they were. So now we're adding medium-sized floral. So this could be Ranunculus, this could be lilies, like the daylilies. Those would be super pretty in here, coming in with like
roses, all sorts of stuff.
yeah. So there's those two. So let me pull this one down. And I remember when I first started doing grapevines, I would wait and I would put everything in the grapevine where I'd want it to go. And then I would try to come back in and take it all apart and glue it all back together. And then I was like, it's never gonna go back the way I wanted. I wish I would have just been daring enough to just do it. So there is our roses so far. And let's see, I had pulled, here they are. I have some Freesia that is left over. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's see how these play into here. We'll move these. I like these kind of as like an edgy flower to put them on the side. Now let's see if we can get them to bend the way I want them to go. Might need some coaxing with floral wire. Like that. Let's see how this one will go. I'm gonna do the same thing with this. Ooh, Lord, don't need that much. Kind of put these ones to the outside. So it'll kind of frame and cascade out the other side. And these are wired except for the very tip where the actual flower is. So if it's not doing what you need it to do, take some wire, some floral wire, and let's see, kind of wanted this one to lay more flat and not, let's see, we can get it to do.
Jenny, the mat on her kitchen counter is a 24 by 36. You can buy them at Walmart.
There we go.
Walmart's probably the best.
Yeah, don't get them from Amazon.
It's two-sided, so it's light on one side and dark on the other.
Yeah, I like the two-sided colors.
And never put your glue pot on it.
On
or
top
glue
of
skillet on top of it.
Never.
It'll warp it.
Yes, that it will. I think it's too long to go where I want it to go. Yeah, we've learned that lesson the hard way. Okay, let's get this under and then over. So I'm adding some Freesia. It's my favorite flower of all time. So we've added some to the top. So I'm going to cut this down a little bit because it was actually protruding way out the bottom. And we'll go ahead and glue these in. Just a whole different shade of purple.
I don't recall how much these mats are. They're not cheap. They're at least like 25 bucks, I think.
Yeah.
25 to 30 bucks.
Something like that. Yeah. That's like a good ballpark.
Yep.
It never fails once I get this in where I want it to
go. They're great
go.
to work with.
Don't order them off of Amazon.
No.
We ordered one off of Amazon. It's supposed to be a 24 by 36.
Yeah.
And it came in and it was a 23 by 35.
Yeah.
Even though the mat itself said
24 by 36.
24 by 36. I was like, no, it's not. It's so not that way. So I'm trying to get this one back in position the way I had it before.
Pam, I think Hobby Lobby does have them.
What, mats?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They've got the mats too.
Yes, they do. What?
Michelle says, "Furious, Steve. My mat is warped."
I know.
Ours is 2 on the side, a little bit, but not too bad.
That's how I learned. Do not put your glue pot on your mat. I was like, it was the second time. The first time I thought our kids did something and just didn't want to own up to it.
Yeah.
And then it happened again, and I was like, I think I had laid my hand on the mat, and it was warm, and I'm like, oh, it's the glue pot. You can't put the glue pot on the mat. It warps it. So we're helping this one along to its happy home.
Okay, here's a question from Daisy.
Okay.
What does Kat think of the new Pantone color of the year?
What is the new?
I've never heard of that, unless it's misspelled. And how will it impact wreath making?
Well, anytime they tell us that there's a new color of the year, it doesn't really impact us at all because people are still prone to their favorites anyway. Like if somebody sat there and told me, oh, hey, lavender's the color of the year, I would probably love that because I love working with lavender. I'll have to look up whatever that color is. What is the color this year? That goes to show you, I don't even really know what the color this year was supposed to have been.
Pam, you could use your 40% coupon on those mats.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think, yeah, they're right around $25 or $30 at Walmart.
Yeah, I think the same for Hobby Lobby. That might be a little bit more.
So I just wired in the Freesia so it stayed in position the way I wanted it to go. Can they see that from the angle you have, babe?
Yes, I can.
Like that? Now you can see it, right?
Now they can, yeah.
Okay, so that's what it looks like so far. So we added in our big focals. We added in some little ranunculus, or this was a mauve rose ranunculus, some freesia on top of our fern, and then now we're going to keep going. Move these over here. Still looking at how far is this going to keep building. I'm trying to think of what I was going to put in there next. I think I might have put some of this in. Let me look. No, I'm not liking that right now. We'll put some lavender in. Keeping that to the side. Let's see. These are all cut down from a giant. These were actually left over from Kaylee and Isaiah's wedding. So I was like, I'm going to repurpose. So let me look at adding this one. See a giant hole in my grapevine. Thought I did.
Kathy, nope, she didn't make the sign on this one. That'd be cool if we did. If we had all the stuff for it, but she got it at Hobby Lobby.
This one's too big.
There's a cute little sign.
What's that?
This sign, the Coffee and Friends.
Yeah, I wanted something
It's like
just
$8.
small. So I'm just gonna kind of stick these in some random spots throughout. So like that. Oh,
okay. Faye said, thank you, Faye. The Pantone color for 2019 is Living Coral.
okay,
And
coral.
for 2020, it's Classic Blue.
What is classic blue? Is that like blue? Like royal blue?
I think it'd be more of a mix between royal and navy blue.
Maybe. So I'm just kind of taking my lavender and starting here, 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 and I'll probably have one come out here once we get the bow on. So let's do the same, because I like to have movement. And these are all wired all the way down. So we'll start.
Luann said, remember how popular Baby's Breath was back in the day? Yes.
Oh yeah, it's
But
so
it
sad
stunk.
now. It did. So very true. And everybody thought it was just so amazing. Oh, I want roses with baby's breath.
So Kat is done with making Christmas wreaths.
I'm done. I'm finished.
Thank you, Deborah. She said, welcome back to you. So glad you made it home safe.
Yeah, praying for my brother because he got sick. He works at the same company with Steve, and he came down with We think it's the flu. And they tried to send him home, but he persisted in trying to stay. And now it seems like he's just going to be stuck wherever. I think we'll add that there. Okay, so let me go ahead and I'm just going to pop in these pieces of lavender. Just like that.
That's what's funny about all the floral picks is they glue really well into
in the grapevine.
The grapevine.
Yeah. The only thing you have to watch out for is where they come out on the underside. You might have to go in and trim them if they come out the bottom. But that's not a big deal. You just trim them back into the grapevine. And they help to give stability to your grapevine too.
Sorry, David.
Because they're gluing everything together.
Daisy, don't yawn, Steve. It's contagious.
Oh.
Donna said, "Kat, I have a question for your Santa hat. How did you make the buckle?"
Oh, very cool. Well, we're doing it on a witch hat base. So if you're doing it on the silver Dollar Tree witch hat base, you just keep the buckle, the silver buckle part from the witch hat, and then just reuse that on top of your black ribbon and make a buckle.
Yep, and all you need is like 1.5 inches, kind of like a shiny or sparkly black ribbon.
Yep. Okay. So let me go ahead and I'm going to add the bow. I'm going to add the sign, and then we'll go in and touch up any last, like, because I want to add some Queen Anne's lace and a couple different types of lavender. So let's see. We're just going to put our sign down here. I wanted our sign kind of in here at the bottom, just like that. So I think I'm going to take this off because it's stapled in, but thankfully they come out really easy. So we're just going to pipe cleaner them in. So we're going to do those on the edge. Throw that away. Throw that away.
Judy asked, "Have you ever made a wreath for a wedding and made bride bouquets?" We haven't done a bride bouquet, but you made.
Well, I did
wedding
all
wreaths
of. Well, we did the lantern swags and all the floral centerpieces for Kaylee's wedding.
And Caitlin's too at that one.
And Caitlin's wedding.
And
Yeah.
we did the I can't think of it. You did the swag over the archway too for Caitlin's wedding.
Yeah, we did the arbor
yeah.
floral. I'll have to share
And
photos if I can find the good pictures. Most of the time I don't think we were really focusing on like, ooh, let's take pictures of what we made. It was, that particular day, it was hurry up and get it done. So Black & Decker Power Shot, 1/4 inch staples on the sign. We'll keep the sign in place. So we are going to...
Good night, Donna. You take care of yourself. Get some rest this weekend.
Another reason why cleaning out your grapevine is nice, because it just makes it so much easier to put your sign in. And I'm trying to go around the big branch.
Michelle, this is a question. She said, "Does this wreath have a season or time of year it would be made?" Not
No.
really.
Because it's an everyday wreath. You could, you know, if you're pushing it for a particular season, because I know Etsy asks us to kind of pick a time, you could put spring, but it honestly is any time of the year. Like I had a lot of people buy a lot of the friendship wreaths that I had in my shop for gifts this Christmas, so that just told me I need to get some more stuff in my shop.
This would be a good gift for a friend who loves coffee.
Or a friend that you meet for coffee all the time.
Yeah.
Like your coffee buddy. Okay. Cutting off a piece of the grapevine. Oop. I think I had it in there. Let me make sure. think I had actually twisted it around. Let's go around a bigger part of the sign. Don't really want it there because it makes my sign have it.
Donna said, I'm thinking this wreath would be for spring. Am I correct, Kat? Yep, winter. Yes, you are.
What, spring?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what you were saying. She typed it in at the same time you were saying it.
spring.
Yeah.
Because it's a floral. But honestly, any time of the year works. So, and there is our sign. This is where our sign's going to go. And the reason why I didn't put it in the middle is I have my bow here, and my bow would just really eat away at the coffee part. So I wanted to move it down, and then we'll have the bow up here instead. And then I don't have to worry about how does that, oh, you can't see what the sign says now.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then we'll add some more floral around the bottom. So, for the floral, let's see, how much do I have on here? I think I have enough. I have like all these half starter rolls, so I'm trying to get rid of them. So we're gonna do this really pretty, it's like a lavender tulip type of ribbon for the bottom. So we're gonna dovetail the end first. So that's just bringing your two wired edges together. We're going to cut on the folded side to the very point of that wired ribbon. I'm just going to take the little fuzzy part off. And then you're going to kind of want to figure out how long do you really want that bow tail to be. And I kind of judge it. I like place it on my wreath and figure out where do I want it to come.
So like a 6-inch.
Is that what you think that is?
6 or 7.
You're usually pretty good.
7 probably.
My thing's upside down. Geez. 6, 7, it's 8 inches.
8.
So, I'm going to turn my cutting mat around. So 8-inch tails. So we're going to probably do 4.5-inch loops. So Bow Dabra is all about the twist. So just twist and put it inside. And I just pick a line, like I do either the increments of 10 or 5 because it's easier to figure out where 5 inches or 4.5 inches is than trying to do, okay, 32 inches. That's going to be 36.5. So do this one. Put it back on the 30. That's a little too big. There we go. And then we wanted 8-inch tails. So right here. And this ribbon was left over from Easter in 2017 from Joann's.
Hey Don. Jenny asked, do you make very many Valentine's wreaths? You'll make 2 or 3 to start at least.
Yeah. We sold quite a few Valentine's Day wreaths last year. You just really have to have your store stocked by the time people start buying them because their season for when people start to purchase them to when they stop is really short. So you always want to make sure you have it in there ahead of time.
You've actually already sold 2 Valentine's Day wreaths.
1.
2.
How do you figure 2?
Love You to the Moon. And there was another one that you sold.
That was the only one.
That's where you sold 2.
I'm just looking at colors that I
And
pulled.
then so I've got that same ribbon, Cat. Well,
See, great minds.
great taste.
I'm not liking this one. It's too Eastery for me.
So is the purple and the white.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. I'm liking for sure those two, I think. I'm not real fond of that. I'm liking those.
I think all 3 work.
We can try. I know these 2 are going to be very light tinsel, so they're not going to have an awful lot of movement. We'll try. The purple came from Michael's. So I love this plum color. It worked really well in the winery wreaths that we did, having this. So we did 7-inch before. or 8 inches, so let's go 7. Take it down just a little bit. So I'm taking it down to 1.5 inches, and I'm gonna do.
Charlene asked, what about maybe a small touch of green ribbon? I think there's enough green in it just from the gut.
Yeah, just from the greenery. I'm really trying to tie the purple in. And we do have green in that floral ribbon at the bottom.
Yeah, you do. Yep.
So it's got a little bit of that. So these are 4-inch loops. And here is 7-inch. So it's just a nice little soft, I guess, soft bow. So we'll set this one. Don't want to stick it in my glue pot.
I can answer this one, but Michelle asked, would a plaid ribbon work?
Maybe. It would depend on what the plaid looked like.
That should be a really soft plaid. Soft color, maybe small plaid. You don't want large print.
Yeah, I would definitely go soft, small. Because we're doing a smaller bow anyway. So we'll try this one. If not, I can pull it apart. And the thing I like about this one is it's got some very nice strength in the wire. And we're gonna go, it's just like 3 3/4 loop.
Donetta, I think most of the Michaels ribbon is 25 feet.
The Michaels ribbon that I got, this was Joann's. This was only 12
That's only
feet.
12, yeah.
Yeah, this one was only 4 yards, so 12 feet.
12 feet.
And this is in their everyday section. So this is their Celebrate 360 and that plum. Just make sure it's wired. And then this purple and white was from Craft Outlet. And then we'll finish it up with the lavender on top. So, dovetail this. And then I think we should be okay. Because having this one, I know for a fact, does not have,
It's thin. Yeah.
it's very thin. And it's kind of a satin, so that's when you have to get your really nice scissors out, because the Dollar Tree scissors are just going to push the ribbon along. So you really want a good clean cut on that so that it doesn't look all frayed. And we're going to go 5-inch tails with like 3-inch loops. So we'll see. Looking at the one underneath, I don't want it to match. So I'm going to pull it just a little smaller. Same thing. And then 6 inches. Oop. Other scissors. Because you want a nice, good, clean cut. Okay. Back in the box. Pipe cleaner. Of course, we have lavender. So let's go ahead and put this together. So we've added our sign. Why does that always happen? I think we're gonna have to start silencing our phone now. It's like sales call city. So
Sorry, girls.
we are going to, I like being able to actually see down into the bottom, so it's easier to, look how easy, because we cleaned those out, our bow went right through the grapevine. That's the other reason. Makes everything you go to attach so much nicer. So we want this cascade. So we're going to go opposite here with our big bow.
Yeah, that's true.
What?
Somebody said at least they're not knocking on your door.
Oh, they did when I was doing my live the other day. I had to answer the door.
Then there's a question I have a black and red and white checked. I'm guessing, Donetta, you mean deco mesh? And then she said, is it okay to have a red and black checked sign on top of it that says Santa, please stop here?
What I would do is just kind of put one on top of the other, and then think about what are you going to put everywhere else. Like, what are going to be your accent ribbons? Because you don't want to go matchy-matchy all the way through, because then that's just going to really throw off your look. But I would do a small sample, cut one piece, put it on your wreath frame, whatever, if you're going to ruffle or cruffle or whatever method, put that on there and then put the sign on top and see what you think. You might be pleasantly surprised.
Right.
It might look really good.
But you got to have some other colors to help break it up.
Yes. Like maybe other shades of red. I'll probably cut this one back a little bit more.
Hi Gail, she said good evening all, finally heading home.
What?
Hi Gail's just joining in late, Anne.
So we're gonna just make this one a little bit shorter. I'm gonna do the same thing here so it's really not hitting our sign. There we go. So we can have this, we don't want it to go on top, but it can definitely lay just below. I like having them all different ways. It's funny, it's like this one, I'm going to cut this one just a little bit shorter because the one on the other side seems way shorter. Huh?
Watch your fingers.
I know. Get your fingers out of the way. Most definitely. So let's kind of tuck that. So that's what it looks like so far. Driving me crazy. What do you guys think so far?
Yeah, beautiful.
So I think now we're just going to come in and add some little pops of white and a little bit of our, what do we call it, lamb's ear. So I'm going to go through and cut these out in smaller pieces. A little too big. That piece is a little too big for that space. And I like that. So I'm just looking for little places underneath some of the floral to add just a softer green. Like as I spin this around, just like right underneath here, underneath the white ranunculus and the mauve colored. I'm going to do the same thing up here. We're going to pull this around to where we want it to be. So we've added a piece up here. So I like taking this because it's a lot softer look. Okay. So we're just adding some filler greenery, I guess if you would. That's what we're doing. Trying to see into my grapevine. There we go. Just giving it some, don't like that one. Really picky what I like. It has to have just the right kind of fluff, I guess. So I'm just adding these before I come in and add some more filler flowers. Don't want to impact my sign. This one. Okay. I'm liking all that so far. Now, let me trying to see if I want to add any of these.
Donna, that's a good question. It's this question, Kat. My husband is not sure if having a wreath business and a full-time job is wise. What do you two think?
I think you gotta pray about it and figure out what does God want you to do.
Yeah. And obviously, if having both as a full-time job is too much for you, then make your home decor and wreath making just a part-time business that just helps you bring in some supplemental income.
Yeah, like wherever it works for you and your family. I'm always gonna say you kind of gotta go where God leads, because if you have His support in that, and if that's what you feel, God's telling you to do in your life, then go. Because I don't think you'll fail at that.
Deborah, that's probably a good course for Kat to do on Etsy.
What's that?
He said, you know that when I sold those 10 wreaths to that customer in California, my conversion rate jumped up to 1.3%, and then Etsy moved me up to the top of the list for wreaths that I guess that show her in stats.
Yeah, you will. Anytime that you do stuff like that, it looks at the number of visits you have versus the number of things that actually convert to a sale. But Etsy is not the way that I drive traffic into my shop anyway. So,
yeah, she said, I never knew that. The higher your conversion rate is, the higher Etsy moves you up.
yeah. But like I said, we don't rely on Etsy to move us into where they want us to be, because we all know that Etsy's done just a wonderful job of that so far. At the time when we really didn't need that to impact our businesses. So I'm just going to add a couple of these daylilies. But that conversion rate is always going to change.
Yep.
So it's going to be based on number of visits. So how many visits constitute a sale? So if you had really low visits and then it constituted a huge sale, then it's going to make your numbers go higher. I mean, it only makes sense. I think I glued all those ones in. Just trying to make sure the ones I was kind of poking here and there, like these, that I go back and glue them so that I don't forget. Because I started thinking the same thing, with how active I am doing chalk couture. Right, like right now, I'm not wholeheartedly into it just yet. So it doesn't surprise me that my results are less than. Because if I'm being honest, my letter grade and my effort is way failing. But I'm okay with that for now. Because it won't always be that. So I try not to get bummed out with the whole number thing. So what do you think about just adding those lilies? Let me lift this up. And then we're just gonna add in some Queen Anne's lace, and then I think we're done.
I think you need something right below the bow.
Right here?
Yep.
Man, you always gotta throw something
Well,
in.
because the Queen Anne's lace will probably work.
Nah, you're right, it does. I was thinking the same thing, so let me look and see what's in
Sorry,
here.
I'll zip it.
And, let's look. I think these are too blue. Maybe not. Mush these all the way up. Let me. Yes, I did that. So we'll add one to the top, one to the bottom. I forget what these are called. Blue bonnets, I think.
So. That's awesome, Donna. She says, I've got 3 more Christmas wreaths going out this coming week.
That is so
and
awesome.
now I've got a Valentine's order coming in already. Yay!
See? That's good. That's exactly the path you want to take. Okay, so I need to glue those 2 in and then add in my others. So let's go ahead and get this one in. Okay. So we're going to push this one away in there and feather it out. And we'll do the same thing for up here, and then we'll fluff our bow once we get our Queen Anne's lace in. It was funny, I didn't realize that Queen Anne's lace is considered a weed.
Yeah.
Like,
Vicky said that that's the Texas state flower, is the blue bonnet.
is that what this is? It could,
Yeah.
maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Sometimes Hobby Lobby doesn't put their, the name of their florals where you can see them.
Yeah.
Which kind of bums me out because I'm like, I'd like to know what those are. Okay,
Good night, Darlene.
so let's add
Thanks for
these,
joining us.
and then we're done.
Sharon, we will absolutely keep her in your prayers. She said keep prayers for her brother-in-law. His PET scan came back showing cancer again, and there's no more treatment he can do. So,
Okay,
Lord, we ask you watch over Sharon and her brother-in-law.
yes.
Keep them in your prayers, Lord. Lift him up. Heal any cancer. Remove it from his body, Lord, and continue to watch out for their household.
Thank you. Amen. Thank you for doing that right then and there, baby. Trying to get those where they're supposed to sit. I prefer to take my Queen Anne's lace and trim them all down. Because I'm kind of I want to add them right where I want to add them. And I don't sometimes like how they are sprayed out. I remember on one person's wreath, I actually put every single one of them into her wreath by hand.
Yeah. Good night, Ann.
It
Daisy
is-
said, do you know the folklore about real Queen Anne's lace?
No, I don't. But I'm listening.
As long as you keep all the gory parts out.
There's probably some like, oh, it's really not a good thing.
Probably not. Especially
Right?
if Queen Anne was wearing lace and she was
Off with her
off
head.
with her head.
Right? Oh, maybe. So I'm just slicing all these down because they come in like this, and I don't like to use them all. I prefer to just kind of pick at them and put them where I want.
That's awesome, Donna. She said, I've had dates with Hobby Lobby 4 days this week. Cashier knows me by name. She's even telling customers about my wreaths. That's the same at our Hobby Lobby. A lot of people don't
I
have my
love
name.
that. That is so good. It just makes you feel all warm and cozy. Like, don't you always want to go shop where people know you?
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, hey, how are you? What are you making? Like, we know every single person that works at our post office.
Yeah. Vicky said the same thing. She had a date with Hobby Lobby. Made her miss half the life.
Aww.
No problem, Vicky. And those dates at Hobby Lobby can get expensive.
Yes, they can. Sometimes. Oop.
Sometimes.
This is what.
Make sure they pay.
What? The dates at Hobby Lobby? It depends.
That's a sad thing. And every time you go on a date with Hobby Lobby,
It can
you have to
cost
pay.
you. Sometimes, not always. Trying to take all the extra glue and trying to wrap it all so I can drop it in my skillet where I want it to go. Then it just rejuvenates. What are you doing? Okay. So I'm just taking these little pops of Queen Anne's lace. So did someone tell us what the whole thing is? Because now I'm gonna, like, if she doesn't say, I'm gonna have to go back in and research it. I had another one. Oh, here it is. Are we getting a response?
So Daisy, what's the folklore about Queen Anne's lace?
She's like, hold on a second, I have to type. And I have to type a lot. Go ahead and roll all that back in the pot.
Hi Nathan. Donetta said her husband came in and said hi to us.
Aw, very cool.
Deborah said, Kat, who taught you to do grapevines? Is there a pattern to do a grapevine?
The pattern that I told you basically, which is lay down your greenery first.
Yeah,
Pick out your focal flowers, then add your medium-sized flowers, and then fillers. Those are those small little pops of things that you see me adding right now with my Queen Anne's lace, because I like them just, I know they're supposed to come like this, but I like them the onesie twosie little pieces where I want them. I guess that's the thing about grapevines and florals, is we can put them where we want them to go.
Okay, so here's the folklore.
Okay.
Queen Anne was known for her lace work.
Okay.
One time the needle pricked her and she threw the lace out the window. If you look at the flower now, it looks like lace and there is a tiny reddish or brown tiny spot in the middle, hence the folklore.
Huh. These ones don't have, they're just
They're
empty.
fake.
Yeah.
As she said, it was the real Queen Anne lace.
Oh, very cool. I like that. I like having those little interesting bits of trivia.
Thus ends English 101 history course today.
Okay, just a few more pieces. I'm sorry this is taking so long. I just am so peculiar about where I want certain things to be. And so I'm just kind of putting them where I want them. Couple more.
She's got more patience than I do, because I would never cut them one at a time. I would put in little clusters at a time.
Don't you remember when I did that patriotic wreath?
Yeah.
And they wanted it exactly red, white, and blue. And the white had to be Queen Anne's lace, and so it had to be done
Layered. Yeah.
one at a time. Yeah, in layers. So I was like, okay, well, I'm just sitting here putting them in. A couple more. Yeah. And that takes care of that. I move my greenery over. And I think, look at all this glue. I'm trying to get it all to stay so I can throw it all back in the pot.
Oh yay, Kathy Rena said, Kat, my chocolate chip starter kit came this evening.
Aw, very
My
good.
significant other is so excited to start making stuff. Cool.
It's going to be fun because when we have those downtimes in wreath making, we're going to be making signs. And those are going to be great things for people to take to their craft fairs this year because they take up very little space. So we can do pillows, we can do our signs, we can do pot holders and t-shirts and pillows and what have you.
She got some really great tips though, like getting the disinfectant wipes.
Yeah.
That'll really help clean your transfers and the magic eraser bar.
Yeah, there's so much stuff that doesn't come in the starter kit that you're going to want to make sure you definitely get a hold of, like the little detail tool. You're going to want to make sure you have. So I'm just taking some of these and feathering these into the layers, just so that, again, yes, I know, Steve.
What?
Anal picky.
No, I'm not saying that.
Okay. I just like them to constantly evaluating. But yeah, detail tools. What else? You're gonna want to probably get some ink.
A towel.
Yeah, this fuzzy cloth. Okay.
Margie, that would be a great idea. Yes.
What?
She says, I have more red tubing. Have you ever used the heart form to make a Valentine's wreath with the tubing?
No, I have not. I'd have to look and see how that will all play out.
I'm sure that would look good though.
We'd have to try it.
Yeah.
Because you always want to make sure that you can see the point at the end of the heart so it just doesn't look like a round blob.
Yeah.
That's the thing that we're always looking for when we do all that. So I'm just bringing some of the blue down into the bottom. And I think I'm done. I think I'm finished. Let me fluff my bow. Get it where it needs to be. Okay. You guys ready to see it on the door? I think. Okay. Take this one down. There we go. And we'll have this one up. So I'm looking, I have like just one that came through. So what you would do in a situation like that, where you have like the one pick coming through, since it's glued, I'm trying to do this with my left hand. There we go. And just snip it off. And then everything else, let's see, I need to get this to where it's,
Yeah.
I see this, and I see that.
Yeah. Yeah, great tip, Deborah.
What's that?
She says she also agreed about, just praying with it regarding full-time wreath making and all that. It's really long, so I can't really go into detail, but I'm sure she read it.
Yeah, always. If you're not really sure what to do, what direction, what path, just pray about it. Ask God, hey, if I'm meant to do this, throw the doors wide open, let nothing stop me. And then be willing to take that first step of faith, because God's not going to go first and wait for you to catch up. He's going to want you to go, and he'll either open or close that door. And then take your husband's advice. A lot of times running things by them, saying, what do you think? They might say, we'll start off doing part-time, and if it really starts to build, we'll continue to, pray about it. And then if God makes it prosperous, then he might be calling you to do this as a full-time gig. And why does it look off? There you go.
Damn it,
That's
I think
better.
this is probably just a little too deep and thick for a storm door. I don't think this would fit in a storm door. Not with the roses.
It depends.
You're probably
Do you
looking at
know
this being
what
at
your
least
width
5.
is?
This is probably at least 5 inches.
But some people have really big gaps. Like, I had somebody, they bought the winter owl for their storm door. And I was like, wow.
Did it fit?
I guess so. She took all the measurements that I had posted, and she's like, hers was more concerned about the width than the depth.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I'm trying to think. I would say, I'm like looking at this too. I'm going to be, just with this one, being out a little bit higher, and our wreath is sitting on a hook, so it's not completely flush up against the door. I'm going to say it's probably 5 inches from here to the door at its widest point. So this, but you can always take it and maybe move it to the inside or move it to the outside. if you wanted to. Anything else, baby? What other questions do you guys have?
Sharon asked how much would you sell that for?
I'm listing this one for $85. So $85 on my Etsy shop. And then shipping is just a flat rate $20. Anywhere in the, I want to say the lower 48, because I think once you get to Hawaii, you have to factor in the over air travel.
Right.
So yeah, super simple.
Awesome, Simone. She said, Simone said she's been a chocolature designer before in the past, but wasn't quite sure how to connect it with wreath making.
Oh.
With your detailed explanations and patience, I'm sure I'll learn so much.
Jump in with us.
Well, she says before jumping back in and committing to it again.
Yeah, just because I see it as we have these lulls in our business and there's never anything you can do about it. It just is. Yeah. So we will have lulls in our business from Valentine's Day to Easter, from Easter to 4th of July, from 4th of July through Labor Day, and then hold on because then it all starts to get crazy. So having something to put in our shop or something that you can sell or other shops like craft fairs that you can do throughout the year, having like we were saying, you know, doing your signs. I need them for all the welcome signs because I always have requests for people to put those in the farmhouse wreath, and they need to be very black and white, literally. Black sign, white lettering, white sign, black lettering, and that's all they want. They don't want any frillies. They don't want stuff on the side or scroll work. So having that allows me to instantaneously make it and then process that order a lot quicker, rather than having to go find it, hunt it down, asking someone to be able to do that. And I think that really, it handicapped a lot of us this year at Christmas time because we depended on people to get the stuff that we ordered in pretty quick without realizing how crazy they were going to be on their own orders. And so it made our orders suffer. Like if they told us 2-week turnaround time and it was taking more like 3 to 4 weeks and then we had to wait for it to be shipped, that's just something we can't do. So having that degree of control and then being able to do whatever we want, like if someone says, hey, can you take a wreath and make it like a farmer's market with some chickens and maybe some cows on it? Our answer is going to be, yeah, we can. I can definitely do that. So that's going to help. And then because I'm starting off doing it all new, like I said, I did the, we did these. I don't know if you guys saw these. I'm still spraying them, but we made like the little gift tags. You didn't see these. So we did one for the ocean. So we're going to start to incorporate these. These are nice when you want something small to hang off of your wreath and you don't necessarily want a big sign. So having these, and then like all of these, I'm turning them all into magnets. So they're just going to be really nice little Christmas decorations for people to just stick on their fridge for magnets or Christmas ornaments. So it's just like a really nice thank you for doing business with me. I really appreciate, you know, supporting small businesses like ours. So that's pretty much it. Anything else I can help you guys with?
Feel free to share and like this video, Gal.
Oh, yeah.
Appreciate that.
Feel free. Share away.
You want to tell them how to join your private group?
Private group. If you guys want to join the private group, let's see. I'm looking at the date, the 6th. So I don't know what the calendar looks like, but we meet every Sunday and Monday. We do private extra tutorials. You get discounts from all the vendors we have agreements with, like Jane's Front Door Decor, 3 Birds Nest. You get the materials list, like everything that I just used, all the SKU numbers, where did I buy it all from. You can go in and print out the list of materials and then take that and go shopping. But to sign up, you go to Cat's Creations, the letter N as in Nancy, more.com, scroll all the way to the bottom. You'll see Cat's Creations private group. 2 things you need to do. One is you'll see words about like where it starts to say, so you're interested in learning more about Cat's Creations, and it'll have like a little blue tiny hyperlink. Click on that, and then that gives you the link to go ahead and sign up, and then it describes everything you get. It's $17 a month, and in January we go back to our additional business classes. Right now it's been nothing but tutorials. So in January we start all over with Facebook business pages. What does that involve? How do you do it? What can you do? What can't you do? Opening up an Etsy shop, from the very first steps into where do you want to be at marketing for Black Friday as we get busy just after Labor Day. Pinterest, everything you need to know about Pinterest, driving free traffic to your website or to your Etsy shop, Instagram, social media marketing apps that you can have on your phone that you can take pictures, do photo editing for, all that's included. So sign up there, and then you're requested to join the private group Facebook page. And I think that's it, right?
Yep. Audrey, as usual, love your design. Looks fantastic, so pretty as always.
You're so amazing.
Just love watching you create. Thank you for your valuable time and talent. Thank you,
You're welcome. All right, and then private group, I'll let you know what we're doing on Sunday. I haven't gotten there yet. I've got to go dig through my inspiration box and see where it's gonna go. So it'll probably be something more every day. We've already done winter. We've already hit our first Valentine's Day. Kind of want to save the rest of the Valentine's Day for January. So we'll probably do some more everyday stuff.
There's a Jean Bunker. Are you going to the conference in California?
Conference in California. What do you mean?
Is it a wreath? Is it a wreath conference, Jean? I think there was one that you said you might maybe going to do in April.
Yeah, well, there's one I think that's supposed to be at, I want to say it's in March. And yes, I have been asked to be a part of that conference. So
is that down in Temecula or somewhere?
Yeah, I think it's down in Temecula, if that's the one you're referring to. But yeah.
Yay.
We're still getting into the planning stages of what it is and what all it'll be. It probably won't be anything close to like Wreath Makers Live, but it's something for people on the West Coast in Southern California to participate in.
Yay.
Is that it?
Yep.
All right, everybody. Well, have a great weekend, and I will talk to you next Friday. If you are in my YouTube group and you need information about anything in this video, go to the little bottom description box. It gives you the links to sign up for my webpage, my Etsy shop, and also how to get to the Facebook Live for Friday nights. And I'll talk to you then. Bye-bye.